But this is a continuing resolution, and it's going to happen. All these things that you want to do, there's no way.
But are you surprised? I'm just asking, just as a person, are you surprised that the tariffs haven't had a bigger impact on prices, for example?
And I just wrote down a few things. So I just have to ask you, where is the calamity that you're talking about?
Hakeem Jeffries got absolutely destroyed by Host on Thursday night's CNBC show. What was supposed to be a calm discussion about the looming government shutdown turned into a public dismantling of the House Minority Leader's every argument.
For the most part, has been publicly suggesting that because of these tariffs, that the economy was going to falter, that there was going to be a massive recession. And for whatever reason, that has not happened.
The host went straight for the jugular, confronting Jeffries over contradictions in his own talking points. Within minutes, the man who prides himself on polished rhetoric was stammering, sweating, and visibly out of his depth.
Trump promised on day one that costs were going to go down. Costs haven't gone down. They've gone up. What we have seen, in fact, is job creation go down almost to record low levels. So there is reason to believe that the economy is not moving in the right direction. The erratic tariff policies have created a great deal of uncertainty in the business environment.
The host didn't shout or mock, he just let Jeffries talk himself into a corner. That silence afterward said everything. Trump saw it instantly. From his Florida golf resort, he reposted the clip with a 3-word caption. Told you he'd fold.
America is too expensive, and Republicans haven't lowered costs. Costs are increasing.
Behind that meltdown was a bigger story. Washington on the edge of collapse. Late September 2025, the government was hours from shutdown. Federal workers braced for missed paychecks, veterans for delayed care, and families for frozen benefits. In the center stood Hakeem Jeffries, trying to convince America that Democrats weren't the ones playing politics.
Today, what we've seen from this administration is an attack on Social Security, an attack on Medicare, an attack on the Affordable Care Act, ripping Medicaid away from millions of Americans. That actually is the type of strong floor that we should also have.
The fight was about healthcare and money, $1.5 trillion worth. Democrats demanded an extension of Obamacare tax credits and broader coverage, including lawfully present immigrants. Republicans said that was code for funneling taxpayer dollars to non-citizens. The GOP called it blackmail, Schumer shutdown 2.0, accusing Democrats of holding the government hostage until they got their wish list funded.
What is it that would get you to yes? I mean, and I think that you kind of danced around the illegal. You do want to provide health care to illegal immigrants that are here right now.
That's what Kernan drilled into. On live TV, he quoted Johnson directly, noting Democrats had voted for the same type of bill before. Jeffries tried to spin it, claiming the new one wasn't clean. Kernan pressed, "So why did your party vote for the same measure 13 times under Biden?" Jeffries froze. The man who could usually outtalk anyone had nothing.
We've got trade deals with EU, Japan, many more in the works, and trillions of dollars of foreign investment coming here. So I just have to ask you, where is the calamity that you're talking about? And it almost seems like for Democrats, socialism is the answer to...
The awkward pause became instant meme material. By morning, even left-leaning outlets couldn't ignore it. Polls showed 52% of independents now blame Democrats for the shutdown standoff, describing them as out of touch and dishonest.
Is it true that you want to restore American taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants?
Of course not, because this is also an outright lie. Federal law prohibits the use of taxpayer dollars to provide medical coverage to undocumented individuals.
During the interview, host read directly from the Democrats' own proposal. Lawfully present immigrants are eligible for all healthcare subsidies. Jeffries immediately denied it, calling it an outright lie. Kernan calmly followed up. Does that include DACA recipients, temporary protected status, asylum seekers? Jeffries dodged. He never answered.
Are in the basement
but do you agree with those approaches as a solution? Look, you and I agree. Affordability is this number one issue in New York. Is the number one issue in the country. And so he has done a great job of identifying that issue and articulating that issue.
The silence that followed was brutal. Kernan didn't need to say another word. The facts were doing the damage. By the next morning, analysts were unanimous. Jeffries had delivered the worst on-air performance of his career.
We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people.
Republicans seized the opportunity. Trump's team issued a statement. If Democrats can't explain their own proposal, why should Americans trust them with another $1 trillion? Inside Washington, the panic was immediate. Some Democrats blamed CNBC for setting a trap. Others said Jeffries never should have gone on air. But no one denied what happened. Their messaging collapsed live in front of millions. The irony is that the interview was meant to paint Republicans as extremists. Instead, it made Democrats look defensive and divided. Jeffries walked in as spokesman. He walked out as scapegoat.
I think it's a disgrace, but it's part of a consistent pattern that the Trump administration has attacked the free enterprise system here in the United States of America.
Let's be real. Jeffries thought it'd be a softball segment. Blame Trump, throw in buzzwords like veterans and healthcare, and walk away clean. What he didn't expect was Kernan showing up armed with policy receipts and no patience for talking points. Kernan didn't grandstand. He dissected. That's what made it sting. Jeffries' classic playbook, moral outrage over facts, collapsed under basic scrutiny. Kernan's calm persistence turned the interview into a masterclass in quiet destruction. Once Jeffries started fumbling, everything unraveled. When asked about specific poison pills in the resolution, he couldn't name one. He defaulted to emotional rhetoric. Republicans want to hurt families, without proof. The performance screamed rehearsed, not real.
I think the questions about illegal immigrants getting these benefits go back to a term that's in your proposal that you've put forth that says legally present immigrants are eligible for all of these subsidies. And there's a big question about what lawfully present means.
Then came the healthcare bombshell. That lawfully present clause wasn't just bureaucratic jargon. It was a political minefield. It effectively expanded taxpayer-funded healthcare to groups beyond U.S. citizens, costing an estimated $1.5 trillion. Kernan didn't editorialize, he just read it out loud. Jeffries denied it anyway. And that denial, caught on live TV, is what finished him.
What does that mean to you, a lawful preference? Would it refer to DACA?
We had a meeting with the President of the United States yesterday and made clear, we're not trying to change current law. We are fighting to protect the health care.
By refusing to answer, Jeffries confirmed the suspicion that Democrats were hiding the details. His anger looked less like conviction and more like panic. It's the same pattern his party keeps repeating: moralize instead of explain. That's why this moment mattered. It wasn't just Jeffries stumbling, it was the Democratic Party exposing its own weakness. They're great at slogans, terrible at specifics. When pressed for numbers, they deflect. When asked for accountability, they pivot to Trump. But voters notice. After that interview, the conversation in Washington shifted from, will there be a shutdown, to, do Democrats even know what they're fighting for?
What do you need by tonight to get
I'll tell you what
yes?
we need by tonight. Speaker Johnson should call Republican members of Congress back from the vacation that they're on. They were supposed to be here. We were supposed to have votes yesterday and today.
And here's where the collapse turned internal. Behind closed doors, Democratic infighting hit a fever pitch. Progressives like AOC and her allies wanted to go scorched earth, demand full health care for all, attack Trump nonstop, and double spending. Moderates begged leadership to stop the bleeding, focus on jobs and inflation, and quit fighting ghosts. Nobody agreed on anything.
We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people. In rural America, in suburban America, in urban America, in small town America, in the heartland of America, in black and brown communities all across America. That's what we're doing.
Jeffries kept trying to do damage control, saying Republicans are attacking healthcare and we're defending families. But each repetition made it sound less convincing. Americans weren't hearing empathy anymore, they were hearing excuses. Trump, meanwhile, leaned back. No press tour, no panic, just memes and timing. He posted a clip calling Jeffries the healthcare Houdini and went golfing. The contrast couldn't be sharper.
And our view is no, actually, we're not going to support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
But this saga is bigger than either of them. We've entered an era where politics isn't about policy, it's about viral moments. Deepfakes, memes, and out-of-context clips move faster than facts. Trump and Jeffries are just two players in that digital war. The CNBC interview proved it. One misstep on live TV can undo months of messaging. One unanswered question can rewrite the narrative overnight. Jeffries' deer-in-headlights moment became the new face of Democratic weakness. His failure wasn't isolated. It symbolized the party's disconnect from real America. They speak like professors in a country that just wants clarity. When they're challenged, they retreat into moral lectures. Trump, for all his chaos, still sounds like he's talking to people, not at them. That's why his base never leaves him. His bluntness reads as authenticity. Jeffries' polish reads as spin.
That I'm focused right now, laser-like, on avoiding a government shutdown and making sure we address the Republican healthcare crisis.
In the end, Jeffries didn't just lose an interview, he reignited Trump's political fire. The deepfake scandal, the shutdown fight, and that CNBC ambush all merged into one perfect storm that handed Trump the narrative back. Instead of taking Trump down, Jeffries accidentally elevated him. And if this is how Democrats handle pressure, infighting, denial, and televised meltdowns, then 2026 might not just be Trump's comeback. It might be his revenge tour. Like this video and subscribe to the channel to get more updates.